Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm David. This is Amy Bell.
Hello.
Is in the house with us today. So we are going to party down. Now I've changed this and I can't see my comments.
Uh-oh. I'm bad at the technology. There we go. Got it down.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Anybody besides me, you get into this technology stuff and then you think you're doing okay, and then you try and do something. You try and do something witty.
Every time.
Like I try. Okay, now I'm back to where I need to be.
Yeah.
I was trying to share it and do a watch party, and then all of a sudden, all the comments are gone.
Yeah.
So anyway, phooey on the watch parties. We're just here. Let us know you're here, and glad to have Amy here. Let us know that you guys are on, and also just kind of on a serious note that anytime that you're on this or any other time, if there's something going on and you need prayer about, you can let us know on here. If it's private, you can send us an email at the church. You can send it to office@ncgreenwood.org, office@ncgreenwood.org. And then also, before we get into our question, I just wanted to say this because I keep forgetting this. We still are here at the church every day. Our offices we've never closed our offices. So we are still have done some counseling. We have been able to meet with people. Of course, we're doing social distancing and all of that. I know when you ask people to contact you sometime, like, call me or message me, or video chat, I think people are kind of done with that. So, I've been meeting with some people. I've got some people to meet with next week. And I know Matt has met, well, basically all of us, I think, have met with people. So that is still an option for $59.99. We're running a special. I'm kidding.
Times are hard.
I'm kidding. Yeah. Times are hard. All right, so Amy, what was our question?
What is something that you have picked up during this quarantine that you either want to continue or want to get rid of? A habit. Yeah. So something that you have started doing, basically. Or stopped doing.
During this time. Good or bad. We want to be vulnerable here. We want to be honest. We want to laugh at you. No, we don't.
No. No.
So something that you have picked up that, say it again, I can't think of it right. Something you've started doing?
Something you've started doing that, well, no, something you started doing that you either want to get rid of it once we're done with this, or that has been good and you want to keep it up.
Thing. Okay. So good or bad? All right. Jonathan Link says he's doing a Bible study with my 7-year-old son. That's good. That's a good habit. Hopefully you're not going to stop that.
Kim's running. We talked about
Kim my
running.
Wife is a runner now. Has a coach.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're at another level in our home. My wife, some women have somebody to help clean the house or something. My wife has a running coach.
That's awesome.
If
it's working, go for it. Do it.
And that's Eli. How do you say his last name? Kaczynski. That is Yvonne. Yvonne's fiance.
Her fiance. Wonderful.
Yeah, great guy. So if you're looking for a running coach, he does one. And then also, Kim, can you tell us, while we're waiting on responses, Kim, can you tell us about the aromas thing that I'm supposed to mention? They're going to give a discount, but if we give if you tune in, you can get a discount on an aromas drink. But my wife needs to put in the comments what that is. Yeah.
You're going to want that.
I go up there at least 2 to 3 times a week, or twice. I guess I don't know what the average is. I don't want to lie. I go up there as often as I can, and I've switched now from just regular coffee to a large Americana. Whatever that
Sounds fancier, so I bet it is.
I have no idea what it is.
I hope they continue the drive-through. I just got to say.
Oh. Kim said they were going to start. We're going to start that Monday with the aromas.
Sorry.
So you'll have to tune in Monday for the aromas thing. That's good. Anything else on the habits you've picked up or stopped doing?
Beth Henderson says, I got to give up the ice cream every night.
You don't have to do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's okay.
There are scientific studies about ice cream.
I have a friend who, I know her through my cancer support group. And she might, I don't know if she's in her 90s. She's late 80s. And we had a nutritionist come talk to our group. And he went through all the things. She said, I don't see where ice cream is on here. She's like, I have my ice cream every night, and I'm not going to stop. And you know what? I'm with BJ on that.
You can't stop.
No.
Got to have ice cream. I can't really think of anything that a habit. I was trying to think if there's something I've started doing new.
Might need to give that up.
I go to Lowe's all the time anyway with this building, but yeah, I know I've had to stop for the most part working out. I mean, I've got a few in, but that I will definitely.
Yeah, be happy.
As soon as the Y opens, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Mask and all if they make me.
Whatever.
That's one place that's like if they say a mask, I'll put the mask on and go for it.
As long as you can be there.
Because that's a huge thing. Jonathan Link says giving up ice cream is a sin. It's a sin. So, Amy, you are, a lot of y'all, most of y'all, probably everybody on here knows Amy. She helps out with the children's ministries. She's been taking a leave of absence as she goes through some things physically, but you're still busy.
Oh, yeah.
You've got, how many kids?
4. They're everywhere.
4 kids?
Everywhere.
What are their age range?
We've got just about to be 12, about to be 10, and then 5 and 2. Yeah. It's a lot.
Okay. And for some people, they've had their kids in public school, and now they've had them at home, and so they're trying to go through this thing of getting used to the homeschooling. But that's what you do anyway, right?
Yeah.
So you've been doing that.
We've homeschooled ever since Lula May started. So, and really, we were crazy with our first kid. So she really started learning. We're going to do this.
Oh, yeah, the first kid always gets
18 months old. We're in school, buddy. You're learning.
You've got college in 2 years.
We've got a board up, and we're doing work. Sit in your high chair. I will strap you in. That way you will learn when I tell you to learn.
Oh, yeah.
So we've been doing it for a long time. So that part has
we
not
knew
been...
so much more with our first kid,
Oh,
didn't we?
yeah. Oh, yeah. My poor... I think all the mistakes I've made on my firstborn child. That first pancake doesn't always turn out right,
Yeah.
I got 3 other pancakes. Second one, still a little rough.
Yeah.
Last 2 pancakes, we've done a little better.
Yeah.
So
Kim and I always say, like with Isaiah and all the other 3 kids, always talk about how easy he's got it.
Oh,
and I don't know if we're wiser or we're just tired.
Oh, we're tired.
Oh.
We're tired.
Because things that we used to be all about, it's like, okay, let's find a
Will this make him stop crying? Okay, give it to him. I don't care. He wants the cookie. Give him the cookie. I don't care. But we're about to have dinner. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give him the cookie.
Give it to him. It's kind of like with the pacifier thing, with the first kid, it falls on the floor, you wash it and everything. Everybody knows how that is.
We didn't. We were like, they'll be all right. Little dirt don't hurt. Little immunity, you'll be all right. That grosses some people out right there. They're like, oh my goodness, she lets her kids just eat off the floor. Yes, I do.
Sometimes, if that's what it takes to get through the day.
Yep.
So, what have now you've been? I kind of wanted to bring up because I know for a lot of us, this is like a different time, and we're in a weird place. But you've kind of been in a weird place for a while. When this kind of hit, I mean, and then you have to be extra careful in terms of who you're around and all.
So
how have you responded to that? Has it,
like, say for us, this is everybody's kind of, and I feel bad to say, I'm kind of glad this is happening. People are getting a little taste of what we went through with cancer, of just, okay, you're isolated.
Yeah.
But I'm happy because we learned so much in our isolation with cancer, and we grew a lot through that. So I'm like, if people will take, that's what I've been praying, is like, let people take out something good from this, because something good will come of it if you let it, if you look at it the right way and just.
Yeah.
So for us, no, really what it was for me is when it all came out, it was like, are you kidding me? I was just about to be back at work, back at, into children's ministry. Everything was fine. We were finally at the end of our needing to be isolated time.
And then bam.
And then, oh, by the way, COVID, you can't go anywhere. I'm like, I finally feel good enough to go somewhere. I finally, my immune system isn't as bad as when I was on chemo. It's still not great on treatment weeks, but so it was kind of like, really? Okay.
Now, Amy and I are
anxiety
buddies, and
so if we run away, just know we'll be back.
But having both, and I mentioned her in a sermon recently, and because I remember when you were going into the cancer, when it first started, my first thing was, cancer's bad, but sometimes what you go through mentally with something is just as bad as what you're actually going through. So one of my main concerns for Amy, and what I prayed for you probably the most often, is that God would protect your mind. Now, and I know we don't have like an hour, and I know you could probably go somewhere on this, but so like now, you're calm. And I've been around you, and you've been over here, and we've talked, and as I've watched you go through this, and when the pandemic hit, I'm like, okay, no change in Amy. So it's obvious that is better in a strange way.
Oh, yeah.
But you would think that all of this would have just made it explode.
God's timing is the only thing that explains that. If I hadn't have gotten cancer, and he taught me through cancer that, I've numbered your days.
Yeah.
Cancer, you are not going to die because of cancer. You will die when your life is at its end. So, we're all terminal.
Yeah.
It's like COVID doesn't make you terminal. Cancer doesn't make you terminal. The fall of humanity is why we're terminal. So had I not gone through the cancer and actually been able to learn that lesson slowly through this year, if I hadn't had that and then COVID, I think I would have been in a place of complete panic.
Yeah.
But it's like, all right, well, this is no different than cancer. I mean,
what would you is there one little, and I know that and I that kind of watching you, I kind of sense that's kind of what happened. Is there something, though, that, like, for people out there who maybe are struggling with anxiety, is there some little thing, though, that you find that you do that's helpful, or if it starts to creep up, is there something you think about? Is there something you go to?
Well, I go to, for sure, John 16:33 has been, it's like mic drop verse for me. It's like, in this world you're going to have trials, you're going to have tribulations. But take heart, I've overcome the world. That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
That's it. I've overcome the world.
Yeah.
So, things are going to stink.
Yeah.
Job went through horrific things, but he still praised God in it. God doesn't say he's going to calm the storm, per se, but he will calm you in the storm.
Yeah.
So we have to look at it and decide, okay, is this a storm that we need God to calm, or is this when I need God to calm me? And the storm has to rage. The storm just has to happen.
Yeah.
So for me, that verse is what I've gone to.
What I have found out in my journey through it is that, man, when you make everything about this world, and I don't, but all of us have the potential to do that, or have the inclination. When it is about, my kids or their safety or their future or my house or my husband or my job or my career, and when you begin to look at that as it, and you don't look at he's overcome that. In other words, that verse is
Yeah.
is comforting because it isn't about this life,
No.
but yet it is. We live here, but yet it isn't ultimately. But we always want to go back to where it is about this life. And once it is just about this life, then it becomes very fearful because we don't
Yes.
control anything.
Yes.
We don't control
But
the
yet
pandemic.
arrogantly we think we do.
Oh, yeah. And we try.
And then when things like a pandemic hit, we're like,
Yeah.
it's like you weren't in control before.
Mm-hmm.
Like we weren't the reason things were running smoothly before. But yet arrogantly we think we are. And I think arrogantly we think, if I'm living in God's will, then things are going to go well, and there's going to be blessings, and there are, but that doesn't mean you get some perfect easy life.
Right.
Like you've said before, Christian life is not easy.
Right.
And there's not a point where you get to say, all right, well, I've had all my trials, I've gone through all of that, I'm going to hang that up, and now for the rest of it, I'm just going to breeze on through. I'm just gonna go downhill from here and just ride the easy train. That's not how it goes.
Yeah. And I think, I hope, for instance, I've talked with a lot of ministers and Christians. In fact, most of the stuff I see on Facebook is, I would say predominantly most of my friends are Christians. So I see just a lot of verses, a lot of this, a lot of that. I have friends from all different denominations, so you see a lot of whatever. But I keep hearing a lot of people say, oh, there's going to be a revival. I'm like, well, maybe. And that would be great. But what I'm saying is for us to go through this and go this in the right way, there doesn't have to be a revival to make it okay. In other words, what we're kind of saying is, well, there's got to be some reason that it's so bad. And it's always for us to, anytime we go through this, when you look at how God dealt with the children of Israel, every time he allowed a plague or he allowed them in captivity or whatever, it was to get them to look back to him.
Yeah.
That was it. And that was it. Now, that may mean revival, and it may not mean revival. People will say, well, people are more open to the gospel, and some appear to be. And right now, it's kind of like when you're dealing with somebody who is going through drugs, and you keep thinking they're going to hit the wall.
Right.
They're like, nope, it's not bad enough yet. So for some people, this time may be a wall that they go, okay, I'm going to finally look up. For a lot of people, they got a lot longer to go before they're going to be thinking about,
And how we as Christians handle this is going to play into that.
Yeah.
They're watching, the people who are, question Christianity or, just wondering or maybe are very cynical of it. They're watching how we're dealing with this. And so if you're dealing with it in a panicked way or a whining way or, constantly going against or putting up political posts, it's not helping. It's not helping.
Well, I hope that, I know, in fact, in my life, most of what I'm going through is about God getting my attention because we're kind of like locked in on this world and this is it. And boy, when we get there, it's going to disappoint and our expectations aren't going to be met and we're going to be fearful and things aren't in our control. So beyond that, is there anything else in like that you've learned during this time beyond the?
Oh yeah, for us.
Beyond the anxiety, just kind of like on a normal level, what's been the thing that's kind of helped you or that you've learned?
God knew that we needed to learn need versus want. We had a real good handle on it for a while, and then kids get thrown in the mix, and you just kind of, money goes and money,
Yeah.
And in a time right now where, Charlie's trying to get into a new career, and COVID kind of even messed that up, and so we're kind of off on our timeline of when he's going to get a job and things like that. The virus having us home and having, kind of less ability to just run out. Let's just run here because we want to get out of the house. It's really showing us, okay, what do we need?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's really just a want. So let's don't worry about that. Let's just focus on what do we really need right now. And that's something that I hope we keep out of this, that perspective of need versus want, and not throwing things down the drain. And
Well, that was what we were talking about Sunday in the 23rd Psalm. We said, "The Lord is my shepherd; I shall not want." And I think as you mature spiritually, your God actually can free us from our wants, because our wants are what get us so much of the time. Our wants are the thing that really cause us to get our eyes off of Him, because want in our world is very closely associated with need.
Oh yeah.
For me, if I
can
want
justify
something,
it very easily.
Job wants to know how Mommy got on TV. Charlie said,
"It's magic, Job. It's magic.
It's magic. It's magic."
Oh, Job, be good.
Well, man, it is already time up on this.
That?
It's quick, isn't it?
It is. That was very fast.
Now, Ryan took the long way home Monday, so he'll not be hosting again. We gave him his opportunity, and he went long. And so he's done. He's done. Yeah, the producer of our program got very upset, and so nothing I can do about it.
Your hands are tied.
I'm just the host, but hey, want to leave you with Psalms 100. Also, just want to encourage you on something, to pray for our leaders, regardless of party affiliation. Pray for our country. Pray for people who are in charge. Like I said, regardless of whether you voted for them or not,
they're still in charge.
God says that the heart of the king is in His hand, and so we want to pray for all of them, that God will give them wisdom as they make, decisions that are affecting all of us. So really lift them up in prayer, especially as a lot of states are starting to change, and we're starting to see what this looks like on the other side of it. We're already talking through things that we can do here at the church, and looking toward that day. So, just really be in prayer for the leaders of not just our country, but even other countries in terms of getting through this. So Psalms 100.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
What a better way to teach your kids obedience. You want your kids to obey you? You need to obey the authority, put over you. This is a great time to show, they're still put in place above you.
Right.
And we need to be in obedience to that, whether you agree with it or not. And, it's a great lesson to show your kids, hey, we're having to do this out of obedience. And like I say, pray for them, because we need God to work through those people, and He will.
Yeah.
He will.
Yep. So make this decision today. Let the whole earth shout triumphantly to God. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before Him with joyful songs. Acknowledge that the Lord is God. He made us. We are His people, the sheep of His pasture. Enter His gates with thanksgiving and His courts with praise. Give thanks to Him and bless His name, for the Lord is good. His faithful love endures forever, and His faithfulness through all generations. And as we always say, we are one day closer to getting through this and getting to the other side of it. Today's Friday, end of the week, and normally,
But does that matter?
Yeah, now it seems different. But for those of you that are working, and maybe you'll have some time off, we look forward to seeing you all on Sunday through our live stream. We love you guys. We are praying for you. Remember, our offices throughout the week are still open. We have people even besides those 5 of us that are here. We have some ladies that do some care and some things like that. So we're actually here if you need to talk to someone in person, and we'd be glad to do that. We look forward to seeing you on Sunday. We love you. We're praying for you, and you do the same for us. And let's pray for our country and our leaders. And I hope you guys have a great weekend. Amy, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, absolutely. God bless you. Take care. Good day.